Hello everyone, it's Melanie here with Vintage Hill Studio. I'm so glad you joined me today. I'll be making a cute little graduation card that looks like this. It's simple with a silhouette, some designer paper, and a printed little sentiment. I'll be using papers from this Recollection 6x6 paper pad, and here is the one I chose along with a gray cardstock. First of all, the focus point is this Happy Graduates die. It's sold by DIY Scrapbooking Artist, and I got it on Amazon. So I will run this through my Big Shot machine, and as you'll notice, the bottom of the die cut allows you to make as large of a border as you want from the bottom to the top. In other words, it doesn't have a little cutting blade on the bottom of the die. I chose to put mine fairly close to the edge of the paper, and I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get this all taken apart here and remove the cardstock from my die. Now I used a fairly heavy cardstock, and the reason why I did that is because I will be popping this little silhouette of the Happy Graduates up on the front of my card. And because the areas where I'll be using foam tape are fairly tiny, that's another reason I used a little bit heavier cardstock for this piece. So there you saw me using my Spellbinders Tool-in-One that helps me remove the cardstock from my die. As you could see, I was pressing that through those little release holes on the die. And I'm carefully, very carefully removing this because I don't want to rip off any of their hats or diplomas or anything like that. Here's the finished product below. I'll bring over my handy dandy silicone mat. I picked this up in a kitchen section at a big box store. I'll be working on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. I'll use a gray mat that's exactly 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then the designer paper that's cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. I have all these dimensions on my card blog. You're more than welcome to visit that at vintagehillstudio.com. And as you can see, the silicone mat is very handy when using adhesives. Any adhesive that ends up on the mat can easily be removed with a paper towel or simply your fingers. So whether it's a tape runner or liquid adhesive or even hot glue, all of those come off that mat so easily. That's a big plus. Now I'll take my designer paper, get that put on the front of my card, and that will basically take care of the foundation for our little card here. Now the paper that I chose it's just adorable. Live life and a few quotes and so forth, but because that is fairly busy, that's the reason I want to use foam tape behind my die cut. And I got these Westcott Carbo titanium non-stick scissors at a big box store that most of us have in our towns. And the plus is that nothing will stick to your titanium scissors, which makes it perfect for cutting out this foam tape. You can find those over in any section that has fabric. So you can see off camera I've gone ahead and gotten all my foam tape put behind my little figures here. And I'm going to carefully align that along the bottom of my card. Give it a little press. And this is why I wanted to pop up the silhouette on that busy background paper. That's just a little tip for you if you want your focal point to stand out from some fairly busy paper. I'm not concerned that a hand and a piece of a gown stick off the side of the card. It will still go into the envelope quite easily. So you see how quickly this came together. There's a close-up of our card. Just giving you a few close-ups here of how this looks. I like the way it came out on that designer paper. I think it's perfect. So then I went over to my computer and I printed out this little quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, which I think is perfect. I will put a background of that same dark gray behind there, and my sentiment is completed. Now I move on to my Easy Peasy envelope liner. I have several other videos on how to do this that requires no dies or special measurements. So you just take a 1/4 inch from each side of the size of your envelope, and then make sure that it's the length is right for your gum line there. After you get your paper put in and give it a little crease, you're going to cut the same angle of your envelope flap. And folks, that's about it. That's why this is an Easy Peasy liner. Put that back in your envelope, make sure it's equal distance from each side. I will bring over my silicone mat once more so that I can, again, here's another adhesive, my extra strength glue stick. You see I got a little on the silicone mat, but that does not mess with my project, my work area. So I'll just close the flap back over my liner and it's done. Why wouldn't you want to go ahead and give yourself a nice completed coordinating envelope? So there's my finished card and envelope. And I like to just use a couple of stamps that go with the theme of my card, and done. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I want to congratulate all the graduates of 2021 early and wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you will come back and visit me real soon. Happy crafting, everyone!